The fact that he doesn't have an ankle bracelet, the fact that he can go out and binge drink with some white supremacists and throw out white power gang signs is unbelievable to me. Bruh, Shay just said something, but it's funny because Britney Spears is more locked up than Kyle Rittenhouse. Do you understand that? How messed up is that? Pascal. Kyle Rittenhouse is back in the news again. As of like the past hour, it's been trending that, well, let me show you guys this article so we can take a look at it for ourselves. Wisconsin prosecutors seek Rittenhouse arrest for higher bond. So they're seeking to arrest Kyle Rittenhouse because of a change of address. Hold on. Let's tell the story. Let's read the story real quick, right? Prosecutors asked a judge Wednesday for a new arrest warrant for Kyle Rittenhouse. Of course, he is being alleged of, he's being charged with shooting and killing 2 people and shooting 3 of them, injuring 3 of them, injuring 1 of them. And obviously, he failed to inform the court of his change of address within 48 hours of moving. Oh, just wait for it. Wait for it. Kenosha County prosecutors allege in a motion filed with the judge, with Judge Bruce Schroeder. The motion asked Schroeder to issue an arrest warrant and increase Rittenhouse's bail by $200,000. These guys ain't joking around, okay? So Rittenhouse's attorney, Mark Richards, countered in his own motion Wednesday that death threats have driven Rittenhouse into a quote-unquote undisclosed safe house. Richards said he offered to give prosecutors the new address in November if they would keep it secret, but they refused. I'm assuming people found out where he was staying at. He said Rittenhouse has stayed in constant contact with him, only his attorney. Okay, so Rittenhouse is charged for multiple counts of that include homicide in connection with the protests in August in Kenosha. Demonstrations began after a white police officer shot Jacob Blake, who is black, in the back during a domestic disturbance, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down. Like, we already know all this stuff, right, guys? So let me go down a little bit more. Now, the thing is that there's been a lot of backlash with Kyle Rittenhouse on many different reasons. One of them, I did a pop-up video about this, but as soon as he was arraigned, he walks out. I mean, first off, he gets bailed out by the Mr. My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, and Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons, okay? And we already know where Mike Lindell lives, like where his mind is. He's spinning off the planet in regards to voter fraud and election fraud and all that stuff, which is another video I should show you guys here, hopefully, if we have time today in tonight's show. But to show that he's off his rocker. I don't know anything about Ricky Schroeder, but I know that that a lot of people were feeling some type of way about him getting bailed out by these particular men. After his arraignment, he walks out of the courthouse with his mama. He goes down to a local bar with a whole bunch of Proud Boys and starts drinking beers. Now, I understand a lot of you guys are going to sit there and go, oh, it's just beer. Who gives a damn? It's just a beer. But still, he is being thrown into court, and he's being charged with homicide. And he's now 18 years old, right? So maybe not the best look in the world to be drinking beer. But the thing is not only is he drinking beer with his mama, but he's also drinking beer with the Proud Boys, who is also known as a neo-fascist white supremacist group, right? He's taking photos with the OK sign, which is like the white supremacist gang sign. You know what I'm saying? And he's downing beers with these guys right after his arraignment. It's a really bad look. So, of course, the judge is sitting there going, It's not. I wouldn't recommend that. That's not a really good look, man. That's not a good look. So, hey, the judge right here, the judge ordered him to not have any contact with white supremacists after that episode. Of course, because no matter what, it's a bad look. It's not a good look. I would feel like his attorneys would sit there and go, yo, guys, what the hell are you doing? Stop. Whoa. No. You're never doing that again, kid. But his attorney is trying to defend him for all these things. So let's move on to here. So prosecutors wrote in their motion Wednesday that they learned that Rittenhouse was no longer living at his Antioch address after the court mailed him a notice, and it was returned as undeliverable on January 28th. Kenosha detectives traveled to the address on Tuesday and discovered a totally different person had rented that apartment and had been living there since mid-December, y'all. So he had been gone out of that crib since maybe the top of December, top to mid-December. He had not told anybody, the courts or anything, of his whereabouts for a good 4 to 6 weeks. Wouldn't you think that's a bad thing to do? Just saying. It's a bad idea. It's a bad look. So the prosecutors said in their motion that it's unusual for any homicide defendant to be allowed to roam freely, and the court needs to know where Rittenhouse is at all times. I couldn't agree more. They did not say whether they knew where Rittenhouse currently resides, saying only that he has failed to provide the court with a new address. I could stop right there. That's just ridiculous. You got Kyle Rittenhouse, whether you agree with him, real talk, whether you agree with him shooting those guys, if you feel like it's self-defense or not, you got somebody who has done a crime or is being tried for a crime, okay? And that person's not even telling you, oh, I moved somewhere else because I've been harassed and there's too many people bothering me and all that stuff. Maybe there's death threats being sent to him and whatnot. He felt compelled to move somewhere else. Why wouldn't he just tell that to the court and keep it moving? That looks shady as hell. Then on top of that, look at all the other crap that he's been doing. On top of that, he feels like he's a freaking, I think he feels like he can do anything, that he's untouchable.
Privilege.
Yeah, you coughed after. You're supposed to cough, then say the word at the same time, just so you know, T.
I would just drink us some water.
Right.
Bad timing.
Yeah. You know, it's supposed to be privilege. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help you out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to coach you. You know, help me help you. You feel me? But so that's what it is, guys. So you see all that stuff. They're trying to file an arrest warrant for his ass because he is not willing to put out the word that he is moved. And I understand to a certain extent, him sitting there going, "Hey, my safety. You know, I care about my safety. People are trying to. There's death threats, etc. But you still got to tell those people where you at, baby. You can't be running around drinking beers and throwing up white power gang signs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's a bad look for sure. Bad look.
You ain't Al Capone. You know what I'm saying? Damn.
I mean, you can think about his age though. He was 17, just turned 18 recently. Think back to most kids that age. They have a sense of entitlement, invincibility, that nothing can happen to me. And he already has kind of lived through that, where he was in a situation of life and death, and he survived it, and he got charged with multiple crimes, and now he's out. He was bailed out by some sponsors on GoFundMe. So he's already kind of seen like, yeah, damn, like I am untouchable. Like I'm out now, not realizing the long-lasting aftermath of his actions, going forward for his own life and those people that he killed. Now I'm not siding with anybody here. The guys that he killed were pedophiles. At least one of them was. They had it coming, but you can't ignore what Kyle you can't ignore what Kyle did wrong. You know, legally, he should not have been there with a firearm. He put himself in a situation that wasn't the smartest. And what we always hear from the racists, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
We always hear that when it's like someone black getting shot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, I think David Ortiz said in the chat that white supremacists are making this guy Kyle Rittenhouse look like a war hero. And they are. I mean, they're supporting him like he's a patriot. You know what I'm saying? And they're ignoring everything that preceded the shooting. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we can't ignore all the facts. We have to look at everything with a fine-tooth comb, take out your prejudice, take out your bias, take out your political side, and think about it. If your kid was there and you're a parent, you're like, mother effer, why are you there in the first place? That's how you would think.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And also, like, his lawyer, quote unquote, is saying that his address is not on public record, or it's not given to the court at least, because they fear for his safety. But you can't do that. Like, come on. Another thing is this, like, who do you know? You know what I'm saying? From the neighborhood, who was out conditionally on bail, who was not wearing an ankle bracelet or ankle monitor GPS? Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that's out temporarily is being surveillance. They got a PO. You know what I'm saying? Like, they on house arrest, ankle monitor. Like, that's the norm for people that I have encountered growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they on lock and key.
Bruh.
So how is this kid not on lock and key right now? I don't understand that part. But America, the United States of hypocrisy has always shown these same things to us over and over and over again. We can't ignore it. The receipts are now out there on the internet. So we can't ignore the videos. We can't ignore all these things that we see because it's right in our faces right here.
Absolutely.
So let's be real about it. You know what I'm saying? If this kid was from Harlem, he shot some guys with an AR-15, claiming self-defense, it'd be a different story right now. Matter of fact, Khalid Brower, it's a Netflix story. You know, follow that. He got wrongfully arrested for stealing a bicycle in New York. His parents cannot afford $1,000 to bail him out. He's on Rikers Island for 2 years, getting abused, beat up, harassed. He gets out, and he gets his charges dropped because he knew it was fugazi. But he was so traumatized, he kills himself.
Yep.
So, like, come on, man. It's all about this class, social economics. Is usually like the top of the privilege. Then you're gonna have your race in there somewhere, which kind of coincides with class and social economics in this country. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta keep it real. Those who can afford to use their money to get out of situations, they use their money. Those who can afford their skin color, use skin color. We all got different cards we can use. I can use my card as an educator. You can use your card as a YouTuber. Use your card as a black man, white man, woman, whatever. We all got cards to use. But the most powerful card in this country to use all the time is wealth and color and prestige.
Yep. Currency, color.
Yep.
And cred. Pretty much.
Yep.
And that's true. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why you look at somebody like him or another woman that I talked about this morning who was part of the insurrection, was out there on the steps doing that whole thing, acting a damn fool, and now she gets to go on a company retreat in Mexico. And it's all about cash, color, and cred. Real talk. That's it. Clout, basically. Cash, color, and clout. Yep. And you got somebody who's out here doing whatever she wants. Now you got a kid who could do whatever he wants. He can go and have his first and maybe last taste of beer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, to me, okay. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this? Can we just talk about this?
Man, preach. Put it out there.
Oh, my God. Okay, so here it is. Okay, if this was my child, This would never happen to my child. Oh my God! And if ever did happen to my child, my child would never exist ever again. They'd be like, "Where did he go?"
For sure.
Hell to the no!
It ain't happening.
Woo! No, 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 no. You would trust me. You would be like, "Hey, Pascal, where's your son at?" I don't know what you're talking about. I have no son. What are you talking about? I have no son. You know, I just put in my Denzel. You know what I mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no son. I have no son. But here's the here's the thing. One thing as a parent, it doesn't make any sense that you got a Mark Jones. Thanks. You got a kid who's done something really, 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 really bad, and you got a mom. I'm wondering where the dad is too, but you got a mom who's out here going, "Okay, son, come on, let's go and have a beer. A couple beers with some white supremacists." I mean, you know what I mean? Let me say this too. Not only just white supremacists, but let's just say, F all that. Let's just push the white supremacy thing out the way. We'll add it here in a little bit. We're going to sprinkle some crack on it here in a little bit. But what I want to say is this. You got somebody who is out here going, "Hey, let's go hang out with these guys," that later on go and are a part. I'm assuming. I don't know if that chapter of the Proud Boys were down at the insurrection on the 6th, but this happened a day or two before the insurrection happened. So you got somebody who is hanging out with these guys that are a part of this whole thing, right? And the mom's standing there just going, "Okay, yeah, keep drinking. Keep drinking that beer, honey. You're underage. You just killed a couple guys. No big deal. Have a beer. Oh, you want another one? You ever done, you know what I mean? It's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? You ever done beer pong? Come over here. Let's play some beer. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's the worst look in the world. It's absolutely the worst look in the world.
It does. It looks bad. But think about the entitlement,
I don't get it.
When you feel like you're untouchable, and you see the amount of support that Kyle got online, like in the chats, in the forums, and the videos, I was just like, wow. Like, this kid was pretty much handpicked as the next leader in their group, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And he was 17 years old, so out of state with a firearm at a freaking riot at midnight. Come on, man. Like, hell to the no. And they call him a patriot. You know what I'm saying?
A patriot.
But
and he's eating that stuff up.
Don't forget that just 4 or 5 years ago, another 17-year-old boy or teen in Florida, who was where he should have been, walking from the store to his dad's house, was also, followed by some aggressors. Ooh. One aggressor.
One, yes.
Just like Kyle. Kyle was followed by aggressors too. And Trayvon was followed by one aggressor who claims that he looks suspicious walking down the street with a hoodie on a cell phone. That's suspicious. Got it. So he decides to follow this young man. He calls the cops saying, "Hey, there's a young guy walking down the street, looks suspicious." The cops, 911 operator says, "Don't proceed, don't follow. We'll follow through with it." And whatever happened after that is a coward story who's a grown man versus a kid who's dead. Right? So all we hear is, we don't hear tales from the people who are dead. They're dead. All we get is the survivor and their concocted story. So this 17-year-old boy, Trayvon, was labeled a freaking THUG, a thug nonstop for defending himself from a stranger following him in a car on the way home. But Kyle was the hero for self-defense from strangers. The only difference is this. Well, it's actually a few. Trayvon Martin did not have a gun. All right? His hands was his weapon. That was the self-defense. Trayvon got the best of that other guy. I don't want to say his name. He did. He whipped his ass. Because he feared for his life. Okay? Kyle, quote-unquote, feared for his life, too, had a gun illegally. Don't forget that part. Illegally had a gun. Okay? So, look at the hypocrisy here. Trayvon, no gun, 17 years old, being followed dies. By the way,
Right.
He's a thug. When Obama said that could have been my child, oh my God.
Oh, the world explode.
Every racist
Exploded.
must have been like, I hate this shit. And they were just like, ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But Kyle, illegally across state lines, legally with the possession of a firearm, at a freaking riot, past curfew, all right, fires a weapon into the crowd and kills people, whatever happened. And now he's a hero. I mean, this cannot be any more ridiculous than it already is. It's beyond belief that this country stands by its hypocrisy and won't face themselves in the mirror. This country was built on the blood of racism. It was constructed that way. And the fact that it's still current and alive is that people are still passing down these ideologies to their freaking children. That's the problem right there.
Absolutely, man. I mean,
you want to say, oh, why can't we all get along? Why can't we all be American? Get over slavery. Tell somebody to get over the Holocaust. How about that?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Tell a Jew, get over the Holocaust.
Oh, no.
And that was 5 years.
You know what? I was going to say, just tell somebody that is tell somebody of the Jewish descent that the Holocaust didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? And let's just see how people feel. You know what I'm saying? Just the craziness that comes out of people's mouths is insane. And the fact that they're trying to justify something that happened, and I get it, some people sit there and go, oh, yeah, self-defense and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, he came out there with a gun. He was ready for some action, period. He bought the gun out there. He went to go get it out in the area.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't take it across state lines. He went over there to get that stuff. You know what I mean? And we've had this debate multiple times on this channel and on this show and all that. And it's a hard one. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand the idea of protecting yourself. But he wouldn't have had to protect himself if he wasn't running around brandishing a gun in the first freaking place. Let's just be straight funky. Okay? Because here's it is, though. If you really think about it, let's think about it. Let's think about it really quick, shall we? Let's break it down, okay?
Break it down.
Just come with me, guys. Come with me. We're gonna go on a little trip, okay? Now imagine a world where you have little Kyle Rittenhouse back at the spot. He goes over across state lines. He goes to Kenosha. He's over there checking out all of the chaos and the mayhem and all that stuff. And imagine if he didn't have a gun on him. Do you think that he would be getting himself in the way of trouble if he hadn't had an AR-15 with him? Think about it for a second. Think about it. Would he go and run around and go, oh, yeah, let me push this, let me stop this guy from starting the garbage fire? You know what he would have done? He would have stepped back and let that thing happen because he wouldn't have had the gun on him. Then he wouldn't have been putting himself in harm's way, and then he wouldn't have had to run around and start going bop, 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 and kill people with an AR-15 that he shouldn't even have legally. There wouldn't be any self-defense going on. Just think about it. I know that's not the real world. I know that's not the real circumstance. The circumstance is he went across state lines. He used the stimuli, that stimulus check, yeah. He used that stimulus check to buy himself an AR-15 that his boy bought for him, was staying at his crib, the gun, because the gun is its own human living specimen, okay? Living all up in his friend's crib because he didn't want it in his mama's crib, drove across state lines, went into his boy's house, stole that mug, not really stole, but you know what I'm saying. He detained it, he attained his weapon, unbeknownst by his friend, and he went off shooting, hunting for some Antifa. Now, if he had the gun, if he hadn't had the gun, do you think he would have been all up in that stuff? Do you think he would have been running around like he's like freaking the Punisher, thinking he's Frank freaking Castle? You know what I'm saying? Up in this piece? Probably not. Probably not. He'd be standing on the sidelines. His ass would have still been sitting at that car lot that he was at, that used car lot that they first saw him at, just chilling there, keeping somebody 6, with a stick and some stones, and that's probably it. It may be a slingshot because he watched too much, I don't know, Dennis the Menace or something. And that's it. He would not be in this situation right now. But the funny thing is, he does this thing, he gets put up on a pedestal, and now he's slamming beers with with white supremacist groups named by the name of freaking Proud Boys, rocking his own freaking merch, by the way. Dude got merch. Did I say that again? Can I say it again? Dude got merch.
Wow.
He's selling clothes online. And he's wearing free as F t-shirts. Brought to you by Kyle Rittenhouse. Go to kylerittenhouse.com/merch and get yourself some swag. It's killer. I'm done.
Mic drop.
Just saying.
Yeah.
This is the Kyle Rittenhouse that we're seeing. And now this dude has this kid, which is still a kid because he's obviously thinking like a kid. Remember, he changes his freaking address. He moves and doesn't even tell the powers that be that are telling where his whole life is hanging in their hands. It's left in the judge's hands, in the court's hands. And he doesn't give a damn. He just packs his shit up and leaves. Doesn't even tell anybody where he's moving to. Not nothing. Doesn't tell anybody for 4 to 6 weeks. That's insane. The fact that he doesn't have an ankle bracelet, the fact that he can go out and binge drink with some white supremacists and throw out white power gang signs is unbelievable to me. Bruh, Shay just said something, but it's funny because Britney Spears is more locked up than Kyle Rittenhouse. Do you understand that? How messed up is that?
Wow.
And this dude killed people. Britney Spears probably murdered some eardrums. You know what I'm saying? I think, they're killing us with that stuff. But at the same time, she didn't murder nobody. Sorry.
And to think about, like, right now, they still can't find out where he is. They don't know where he is at all.
They have not disclosed whether he has. They have not disclosed whether they have the address or not. My thoughts are they don't. They're still waiting for it. They're like, just anytime, buddy. Anytime. You know, when you get the time. When you find a pen and a napkin, just write it down when you get some time. You don't need to tweet it. Just hand it over. It's fine. You don't need to text it or anything. Just when you get time. Mr. Rittenhouse, whenever you get that time.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.